So the price optimization tools are really useful. They're really helpful because what they're doing is tracking supply and demand, right? And so they're like, hey, this is a high demand weekend. We don't want you to leave a bunch of money on the table, so we're going to suggest jumping that price up. What you do is you've got to set rules within it. Your highs, your lows, your baseline, the discount times. The discount's a big one. People leave a lot of money on the table by putting in a blanket discount. If they're within 30 days of the check-in, they start to discount the property. They get within 2 weeks of the check-in, they discount it more. They get within a week, they discount more. And the lead times in...
So you're giving more and more discount.
As it gets closer to the date.
Why would you do that?
Well, the thought is, well, it's not booked, so I'd rather have something rather than nothing. So I'm going to give an incentive for them to book it, right? It's getting closer to when I'm going to either have an empty night or I'm going to book this out. So people will start to discount. The issue is lead times have shrunk significantly in most markets across the U.S. If you don't look at that and you don't know that, we were just doing this as an example. We had our coaching call. We had 3 or 4 of our members asking about this. We pulled it up. We looked at the data. One of these has an average lead time for all of their bookings, 3.8 days. And they had discounts starting at 30 days out. And so the majority of their bookings are coming in within a week. And they're discounting. And they're all coming in anyways. The market for this property at this time of year, 3.8 days is the average lead time.
So now they're booking at this crazy discount
because they didn't need to. The market's going to book it short anyways. So they're literally leaving a whole bunch of money on the table. So those are the things that, and Price Labs just automatically had that set up for them when they set up their property. And so these last minute discounts were already baked in, usually starting at that 30-day mark. And sure enough, we're looking at it. We're like, so somebody else is like, hey, can we look at my market? We looked at it. Sure enough, like 50% of the bookings come in within 2 weeks. So the market is saying, hey, listen, half the homes that get booked in this area, this size home in this area, come in within 2 weeks. So why discount it? Just leave it. Don't do a last minute discount. Leave your pricing because most of the bookings are going to come in within 2 weeks anyways. So it is, it's those little things, strategy-wise, where we use and you set those rules. Like I'm going to take Price Labs in those particular situations, and I'm going to remove that last-minute discount. Right. I'm going to say, like, I'm going to have, there's times where your baseline, like when we run numbers in a market, you've got this wide range of average nightly rates, right? And so I have to know, does my property run at the top side of the market, the middle of the market, the bottom of the market, so that I can start to set where that pricing should be relative to what my home and what my proximity is going to generate for us and the experience. So it's a lot of times you're right in the middle of the market and you're like, hey, listen, you've got a top property. You've got an amazing experience. You should be bumping those prices up. Your baseline should be a lot higher than what this is suggesting to you. Other times it's the exact opposite. We're like, man, they're suggesting this really high price. We're looking at the data. You should be down here, right? You need to drop that or you're never going to get booked, right?
Yeah. Wow, that's so interesting. Okay, how could someone find out their lead time?
AirDNA, we use AirDNA.
Okay.
And so if you have AirDNA, and I think on the Pro version, we have the Enterprise Advanced version that we use. But if you go into, it's in a weird section. It's in the RevPAR section. If you scroll down, you'll find out the average lead time that properties get booked. And you'll be able to, you can look at it for the whole year. You'll start to see the graph that shows you how many what percentage get booked 90 days out, what percentage of properties get 60 days out, 30, 15, 7. And so it'll show you the percentage of properties in any market that is getting booked at a certain period out. If you've got more than 30 or 40% of the properties getting booked within 30 days, you've got a third of the market that's still booking within 30 days. I wouldn't have discounts on there, especially if you've got a good property.
Wow, that's really interesting. Have you noticed across the board lead times are shortening?
Yes. Yeah, we started to see lead times really start to shorten. Well, I mean, during COVID, there was a lot of we started to see the market start to shift. But when really things started to shift in that, after that COVID boom, 2020, 21, and 22 rates started to shoot up a little bit. Everything started to come back down to normal levels. Supply had caught up to demand. 22, 23. When that happened, lead times really started to shrink, and they continue to shrink. I mean, it's amazing what percentage normally, historically, small properties have short lead times. Like 1-2 bedroom properties are going to have shorter lead times than a big property. Yeah, they're quick getaways. A big 6-7 bedroom property you know, you're planning it with other people. You're usually planning it further in advance. So they're going to have longer lead times. But even some of those big properties, you'd be shocked at how many of those lead times have shrunk to within 30 days. The percentage of them that book within 30 days is shocking in a lot of areas.
Wow, that's really interesting.
You'll also have longer lead times during your peak season. So your peak season, people will book it out further in advance, right? So all of those things, your strategies changes throughout the year. That's another thing. You're adjusting your strategy based on the time of the year, the type of property you have, what kind of experience you have. All of those different things are going to be part of or inputs on how you would adjust that strategy.